This week on HMP, we close out our March of Dimes series, and I want to let it be known that we didn't do the dude bro thing this month. As a matter of fact, we've had more dudes featured on the March of Dimes this series than we ever have before, and for that we apologize. But hey, this week we got Fight Club, so welcome to Half-Ass Movie Podcast. That's the wrong one. Welcome back, you dirty babies. It's time for another Half-Ass Movie Podcast. So sure, we put together a half-ass theme as an excuse to watch movies. My name is Adam Portress, and joining me today, if you thought he was insufferable before, 2 weeks in a row, you're going to hear this nerd talk about how he read the books. Sweet Sean Zakovacs from the internet.
I did. I read the books. I knew a guy in real life who wanted to start his own fight club because he didn't understand what Fight Club was actually about. True story.
And his name isn't Robert Paulson. It's Bruce Leslie.
Hey, I'm the only guy that tells my trainer I want to look like Meatloaf from Fight Club.
And he goes, I have a plan for you. Do not worry. We can put this together. I can build you stronger. We can make this happen.
And I don't want any surgery. I want to get there all natural.
No, of course not. You eat the Haagen-Dazs just like you're supposed to, everybody. But we are back, and the March of Dimes comes to a close this week, everybody. But we are closing it out with Fight Club from 1999. And I also want to let it be known how much of a good guy I am. I know I don't normally talk about myself.
Okay, please continue. Yes.
Yeah. But when this movie, when the idea of reviewing this came up, I thought, oh, that's good. I enjoy this movie. But at the same time, too, there was part of me that was like, oh, crud, this kind of sucks because I got to watch this movie now. And it's good for the podcast now. But on April 22nd, my birthday, for whatever reason, the gods have bestowed upon us Fight Club in theaters on my birthday. So I was like, nice. Oh, well, I feel like I really want to go see that. That sounds like a really fun time.
Why? What's the point of putting it back out in theaters right now?
Well, they redid the for the reason that they come out the next month, which is the 4K comes out. They've redone the scan of 35 and everything. And after watching the Blu-ray this week, I will tell you, it's in need of it. And I think it will look really, really good. So I'm excited. I'm excited for where that's going. So in the next 2 months, I'll have watched Fight Club probably 4 or 5 times at this point.
It is difficult to be Adam Portress, as I have stated here again and again on this show.
It is a rough life we have to live, but hey, listen, I do what I can, everybody. But before we get into our review, we do want to remind people that the show you're listening to is live over on YouTube every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Just stop on by, say hello, be one of the dirty babies in the chat. And if you feel like it, why don't you drop a super chat, a.k.a. Portress Bucks, everybody. We'll read that on screen there and everything. So get yourself some internet infamy by hitting that. And if you are on mobile, for the love of God, right now, because we have as many people as we do, swipe right after you hit that thumbs up button. Hit the hype button. That is what helps get this show into the eyeballs of more and more people. We really appreciate that. We love all you guys so much for doing that. And if you really love the show, and I mean you got something special in your heart that you want to say to everybody, why don't you go down to patreon.com/HMP, get yourself pre-show, post-show, Dinger Zone, and boys and girls, we are talking. This is going to be a good one. I think this is going to be a good one. We're going to have a lot of good conversation on our Dinger Zone this week where we are talking our top 5 David Fincher films. A lot of really high quality stuff to choose from there. So we'll figure out how all that lays out. And you can hear that if you're on this stream by just hanging out right after the show and everything. That Dinger Zone will follow the full regular HMP show. Or you can get that at patreon.com/HMP. Join up at any level and get yourself some extra content at the exact same time that you're supporting this show. And we really appreciate that. All right, gentlemen. Fight Club, as we know, a huge movie there in 1999. Not so huge because I say huge because it became a cult phenomenon, but it did not make a lot of money when it came.
Like every Fincher movie, right? Like it seems like Fincher movies don't do well until later. Like if I'm thinking about this correctly, and I think I am, there's something weird like his biggest film is Panic Room, like something like that, right?
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's a weird one, especially kind of around this era and stuff like that, where he wasn't quite he had 7 under his belt at this point, but even so, it wasn't as much of a hit as it was. And it was, 7 was a decent enough sizable hit, but it wasn't enough to kind of cement his name into the annals just yet here. But let's get now to the IMDb plotline for Fight Club. As we know, IMDb always 100% correct in everything they say and or do. Let me pop you on this one here. An insomniac office worker and a devil-may-care soap maker from an underground fight club that form an underclub. I even wrote form in capitals so I would do it right, and I did it wrong. Form an underground fight club that evolves into much more. This is based on the book by Chuck Palahniuk, known for Fight Club, Choke, and a whole bunch of other stuff that I haven't read because I don't read no books. Thank you very much. Screenplay by Jim Ulis. I'm going to say that's how you say his name. He's the only thing that you've ever seen him do outside of this is Jumper, and we covered that back in HMP Volume 1. Still can't tell you what that movie's about, just say for that it sucks, I know. This is directed by David Fincher, who did 7, The Game, Fight Club, The Room, Zodiac, and many more. And as I said, we'll cover those top 5 David Fincher films. So be sure to stick around after the stream or the Dinger Zone at patreon.com/HMP so you can hear more of that good stuff. This is starring Edward Norton, Brad Pitt, Helena Bonham Carter, Meatloaf, Holt McCallany, and a blonde Jared Leto. And will you believe this, guys? The blonde stuff was Jared Leto's idea.
Oh,
What?
you don't say.
And didn't get it approved by anybody.
Oh, wow.
Shockaroo. Well, the same thing, which, I mean, there must have been something enough to work with him, because he did work with him again in Panic Room, where, again, he went and chose that hair all by himself. He showed up with the Allen Iverson cut is what we called that back in the day. He just showed up with it, and they were like, what the hell is this? He goes, this is what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, I guess. So he was still enough to where people were like, I guess we can just deal with this. But boys, it's 1999. I think I'm a senior in high school when this movie comes out. I actually got to write a review for this movie for the school newspaper. And I will always give the teacher who did our student newspaper or school newspaper class and everything the utmost credit. This lady let us get away with so much so that, like, I wrote this headline for my review was, "We are the all singing, all dancing crap of the world." That was the title, and she was like, "That's fine." I was like, "That's pretty." That was pretty awesome. She was just like, "We don't." As long as you weren't doing anything, absurdly bad or anything else like that, they let you say whatever you want. They kind of publish whatever you want to put in there. I thought that was a really cool thing for, to give high school students that much leniency. You certainly wouldn't do that today, because that would be a big giant mistake. But I remember seeing the movie going in with my brother. I remember watching it specifically at the AMC 22 in Charlotte. Walking out of that theater, we were just silent halfway to the car, and then we looked at each other. We're like, almost at the same time, we was like, what the hell was that? We had no idea what we had just come into. And it's 1999. Like, between this and The Matrix and everything, 1999 was just absolutely kicking with movies and stuff like that. So I'm so excited to get to talk about this movie that I've seen umpteen times at this point, and I know way too much about. And I'm sure Sean will tell us how the book is far superior. Sean,
There was 2 sequels too that Palahniuk wrote, but they were comic books. I didn't read those.
I'm certain that's not how you pronounce the name.
Yeah, well, it's Bruce. So
I said
Right.
Palahniuk because I don't know. I've never talked to the guy. I don't know if I've even ever heard his name said before.
I believe it's Palahniuk. I believe.
Okay.
No one really knows. Adam Portress.
mm-hmm.
I will not be besmirched for actually reading. Look, stupidity in America is getting better, like bigger and worse and worse and worse. And I know it's your time to shine for that because you don't read.
We're number one.
However, I went through a Palahniuk phase, and I have a lot of books of his that I enjoy tremendously. Weirdly, the Fight Club novel is not as good as the movie. It's one of those rare cases where the movie is actually far superior to the book. Like, you can name a handful that's true of. And this is one of those that, it's based on the source material of Fight Club. The book was written 10 years before the movie came out, I think. And it's good. The book is good, but it's not as good as the movie. It's the rarest of cases. And the things that they change in the movie is the stuff that was really weird about the book. Because it's like, wait a minute, why did they choose to do that? And in the movie, they decide they kind of figure it out. Like, hey, the reason why we're grabbing the fat from this place is because human fat makes the best soap, and also we get to sell them their fat asses right back to them at a premium markup. And I'm like, oh, that's a far better way of describing that than the way the book does. Like, just small stuff like that. And it happens over and over again. Also, just the visuals of Fincher in 99. He's coming off of a couple of movies, but he'd been a video director for 10, 15 years before that. And you can really tell with Fight Club just how much of that informs this movie.
Well, my comment was going to be, it's such a visual piece that I couldn't imagine the book being able to communicate that kind of feeling. I would compare it to like 2001. The Kubrick film was based on a book or a short story. And I mean, that is all visuals. I don't think I would ever want to sit through and read Arthur C. Clarke's book.
I have, and it is boring.
Exactly.
it is all descriptor. Like, it's all descriptor, man. You thought Anne Rice
the movie
did these huge descriptions of the vampires in Interview with a Vampire. The Arthur C. Clarke 2001 book is so boring.
So it made a good call not reading it.
Yeah, good call by you.
So what was you guys' kind of recollection of kind of seeing this back in the day? And is the movie any different for you now?
It's the first time I've ever seen it.
Oh, that's right. That was
never seen Fight Club.
It looked too much like a dude bro movie for me. I thought it's like, look how manly we are. We're all going to be manly together.
See, but that's the whole thing with the movie, and that's the thing that dude bros didn't get at the time. Is that like I said, I had a friend who literally tried to start a Fight Club in Charlotte, and I was like, you don't understand what that movie is about at all.
It's like two-thirds of the audience for Starship Troopers.
Exactly right. It's the same thing. It's the thing where oh man, those soldiers in that movie are really awesome because they're not understanding the other side of it, but just like Fight Club is, man. And it's also one of those movies too where because everybody is so cool in it that there's certain guys that are going to see that movie and be like, listen, man, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. Oh, what's your favorite part? Probably the Fight Club part. You're like, okay, then you clearly understood the assignment. Sure, it's great.
I feel like belonging to a Fight Club wouldn't work so great for me.
I will tell you this, right? So, Portraits, I've seen this movie a half a dozen times. I mean, I love Fincher as much as you do. I think that you I would say that between the two of us, I know that you like Tarantino more than I, but I think we equally love Fincher the same. I think that Fincher, I just love his movies, man. I always have. But the thing about Fight Club, the first time I saw it versus now, is that the first time I saw it, I remember thinking, is this the greatest movie I've ever seen? Because I loved it so very much at the time. It was one of my favorites. And 99 was the big switcheroo at the end of the movie time. I mean, because you've also got Sixth Sense in the same year. I mean, Jesus, in the same movie season, summer season. They both came out in the same summer.
Similar kind of twist movie.
Really. And so, there's that aspect to it as well.
And maybe The Usual Suspects around that time.
But yeah, Star of Echoes, same year.
Let me finish my point. God damn it! You guys are the worst with that. You know what? I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I only occasionally yell at you both. So the thing about it is, this time around watching it, there is so much undirected anger in the movie where it's kind of like, oh, fellas, you're doing this all wrong. No, you got it all wrong. When you're that angry, that's not what you do. What you're doing right now, that's not how you do that. And it just feels like a little sloppy, and like, oh, this is something that like a rebellious teenager is going to think is really cool, or somebody who's in their early 20s, like I was when I saw it the first time, like where you're just going to watch it and just be like, oh my God, man, this is the coolest movie ever. But then when you're an adult and you watch it and you're like, oh man, I can't believe like just how undirected the anger is in this. Like you guys could have you could have taken over the world if you would have just like just made a scalpel out of that anger. And that's what I took away from it this time.
Hey, listen, the present company won't like the sound of this, but is that not Gen X altogether?
It is completely.
Actually,
look, man,
yeah.
look. I've said this before, Portress, that like we were all angry at the time, but we didn't know what to be angry about. We were just angry all the time.
The movie basically looks you in the face and goes, "We're not exactly sure why we're mad, but damn it, we're mad, and we want our stuff." And like you understand where things are coming from, but again, that's what I think is kind of still great about the movie is that it has that like. There are elements of things within all of the ideas that are good, that things that you need to do. Maybe not necessarily fight people, but like we live in a very sedentary lifestyle now to where we are not going out, we're not hunting, we're not gathering, we're not pushing against anything. We don't have technically hard jobs anymore for the most part. People aren't doing a lot of things. So getting physical motion, getting in there and getting that stuff that is deep down in our DNA out is a good thing. Now, if you continue to go down a crazy path and then start blowing shit up and becoming a terrorist, that's not good. There's self-actualization, and then there's going a little bit too far with it. It's like good ideas to start with, but where those ideas could snowball and run into, very bad effect if indeed you're allowed to let them go that far.
Now, Adam, you didn't quite live through it, so you might not understand, but the main thing that made Gen Xers angry is that our fathers were boomers. Am I right, Sean?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt, yes.
We're like the middle children of generations.
Yes.
It's just, whatever. Yes. We're all latchkey. Our dads just think we're in the way. Our moms are all drinking, taking medicine, something to get through either living with their awful child or their awful husband.
Yeah.
We were just kind of feral kids.
The other part to this too is that when people, like you were saying, like you almost got to my exact point about this movie, which is that really what this movie is about is like, this is how far you can take toxic masculinity, right? Like that wasn't even a term in 1999, but that's really what this movie is about. Like, look, gone unchecked, this is what this is going to look like. And for the most part, I think that they did it perfectly. That part of the movie still holds up. It's still great. It still hits. Once that part lands, it hits just as hard as it did in 1999 for me.
Have either of you guys seen that new Louis Theroux documentary?
Mm-mm.
The Manosphere. It's called Into the Manosphere, and it's basically what happens if people take the wrong message away from Fight Club. It's like the YouTube personalities are all alpha male and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Guys that pretend to be like super cool, but yet you look at it and you just go like, I find you having sex with any woman dubious at best.
Kind of Andrew Tate's of the world.
Yeah, like actually Andrew Tate's probably one of the cooler guys in comparison to those things, and that's a sad state of affairs right there. When like, oh, this Canadian with a speech impediment is one of the cool ones. Jeez,
oh boy, but
he's Canadian.
Yeah, come on, he says the boot all the time. Like, oh, hey, man. Like,
I'm not going to pretend that I've watched 30 seconds of that man.
Yeah,
good for you.
I couldn't pick him out of a police lineup, but I wish that I had seen this movie before I knew the deal, because everybody knows the deal about this movie.
Yeah.
Because now I can never wonder when I would have figured it out. You know what I mean? Because going into it, when you know it, it's also obvious. So I figured out The Sixth Sense, and I believe I could have figured this one out, but now I'll never know.
Right.
But it went on a lot longer than I expected once you figure it out.
Right.
And that is where the movie started to lose me, because once your narrator's unreliable, you kind of cut it off quick, because from there on, you don't know what you're watching.
Well, and I mean, much like something like Exit Through the Gift Shop with this movie,
Yeah.
The more you watch it, the more times you go, when is what I'm watching real?
Yeah.
Because you really don't know. And it changes from viewing to viewing. I don't know if that happened to you, Portress, but like over time for me, I would have a different answer for you of like, when is everything horseshit that you're watching? And you don't know, and because it changes from view to view.
I think
There
it's a
are a
pure Shutter
couple of-
Island.
There are a couple of breaks, like kind of at least 2 act breaks where like you are definitely sure that you're going down the rabbit hole one more time, or you're just like where it's kind of starting to really get there, and the Tyler persona is taking over and everything. One of the times is after the where he's lying and where they're both lying in a dark room and he's saying his poetry and stuff like that, and then it like fades to black and everything. That's one of the points where that's like kind of like one of the last, Tyler kind of taking over moments. But there's a couple of spots where you can kind of really delineate where things are kind of going and the degree with which he is aware of what's going on. It's pretty solid what they've done. And like you said, Bruce, looking back and everything now, they telegraph it eight years away. They're just like, listen, we are literally telling you the entire time these things are happening, but we're just so conditioned as an audience to just kind of take things at face value and everything. We just go like, oh yeah, that's the sort of thing. And that was what was really cool, honestly, about the movie in '99. Was at the moment of reveal and everything, you were still kind of questioning, and it was that like you're looking around going like, no, because like you even at that point are not even like for sure that this is like what he's saying is true. It's like it feels like he might be gaslighting him at this point. Like, what do you mean he's the? And like everything's starting to add up, and again, just like the Sixth Sense, we kind of go back and we show you some of the things of like, hey, here's all this stuff. Like, of course, it's going to be really weird where guys walk out and see a dude beating himself up in a parking lot, and you're going to walk up and go, what the hell's going on with this?
I mean, when he's in the office with his boss and he starts beating himself up and he says, this reminded me of my first fight with Tyler. I'm like, well, of course it did, because that's what you were doing. And I'm like, they were really trying to let you know what's going on.
Yeah, they were not hiding the ball on it as much as we all thought of like, oh, they just sprung this on us. No, they were telling you.
My question for you, from your point of view, was there ever actually a Fight Club?
Oh, yeah. All of this stuff happened for sure.
I don't know, because I don't believe at the end, the Project Mayhem got very much like the kind of paranoid delusions I had dealt with as a clerk in mental hospitals, where like people think the TV's giving them messages. And then there's some folks, they think every waiter is passing a secret password to them. Like everyone who uses the word sir, he assumes they're part of Project Mayhem. But in life, you go to a doorman, come on in, sir.
I like that idea.
Can I take your order, sir? I don't think there was a Project Mayhem. I just don't. Because there's just too much of it. There's no way the cops are in Project Mayhem. Every single bartender in every single town you go to is in Project Mayhem. But I think that was all a delusion.
But like to me, that's one of the coolest parts about it, is that kind of thing where, he does what you were screaming at this character to do. Hey man, get your shit together, grab these plans and go to the police and tell them what's going on. So he's finally doing exactly what we will all want him to do. And of course, everybody in the police is like, we got this, sir. Don't you worry. And it's a great little kind of like, it's the fear of everything of like, I cannot stop this.
And it's completely symmetrical to what they did to the police chief, threatening to cut off his testicles. And then they're threatening to cut off, the policemen are threatening to cut off the Jack, I think is his name, even though he never says it, but Jack's testicles. And it's just too perfect. And that's when I started thinking, no, this is all a paranoid delusion. Like there is no Project Mayhem. He's just seeing it in everybody he meets, because it was just too, he didn't meet anyone who was not in Project Mayhem.
It's great. It's what makes the movie great, man. And in my opinion, is that and that's going to change for you over time, Bruce. Like if you watch this, the next time you watch this movie,
lied to for 2 hours, I go talk to old Sean, right?
Do you have like a board of like like just off camera? Let's see. Let's see here.
I'll build one.
His worst moments. Let's see.
Here we go.
So one of the things that I wanted to talk about, because I didn't think about this until recently, which is that Fincher is exacting, right? We know that about him. Like you will do take after take after take with him. If he doesn't like what you're doing, 90 takes are not out of the ordinary for him. Like he will literally do that. So with that being said, and he's so exacting of a filmmaker, do you believe, what do you think is more likely? Do you think that that Meatloaf had to audition, or do you think that they called Meatloaf's people and were like, hey, we want him for this role?
I don't think of Meatloaf as a guy who goes out looking for roles. I think it's just here and there he gets. I think they called him.
Well, first of all, Bruce, you clearly have not seen To Catch a Yeti starring one Sir Meatloaf.
You know what? I might be reviewing it
Sir,
soon.
I didn't know he was knighted.
Yeah, no, it's more like a Sir Loin-a-Lot kind of thing, you know.
Oh, I see. I see.
If you called me sir, you're in Project Mayhem.
But no, so I actually know how this kind of came about. Fincher, believe it or not, saw Meatloaf's Behind the Music and thought, this is not the guy that I had in my mind when I saw Meatloaf. You know, he's like, you always just saw this big, heavy guy with this sweaty hair matted down on his face, singing on the top of his lungs and everything. But he's like, when I saw him in these interviews and stuff, he was very soft-spoken and kind of stuff and just seemed like very different than what you would suspect that guy who does Bat Out of Hell to do. And they called him up and was like, hey, would you like to do this? And so that's as simple as it goes, is he saw Behind the Music from him.
I mean, I'd Do Anything for Love was still probably hot around this time. It could have been more than 3 or 4 years old, right?
Not too well. I don't know.
I mean, you're right around like the 10-year mark, right? Probably, because I remember that being like the early 90s, and we're in the tail end of the 90s here.
But I figure he made enough money from that he didn't have to act if he didn't want to.
Oh,
he's got to
definitely.
pay the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Fincher was just like, you know, I like, you have this picture of him as the rock star or as in Rocky Horror Picture Show and stuff like that. And it's like, and he's not that guy at all. And so he was we were very pleased to have him in there. The funny part about his like, speaking of just Fincher being that very exacting director and everything, there's one moment in this that specifically deals with Meatloaf that if you're not looking for it, you won't see it. But if you do, it's hilarious. It's when they've just finally threatening the guy, you know, telling them they're going to take his balls and everything. As they are walking out of the restaurant, if you look in the background, Meatloaf is walking out and his pants fall down.
Oh, wow.
And so he picks him, he's like, oh shit. And he's like pulling his pants up just as they're about to cut. And then they cut to, you know, one shot. And then there's another shot where he's standing and everything. So it's like, it's just one of those little things that if you're not looking for it. And I only caught it because, you know, the commentary tracks and stuff that they mentioned it. So I thought that was funny.
So again, it's that nothing's a mistake. So that must have happened on purpose, right?
No, that one didn't happen on purpose. I think it was one of those weird ones where maybe just nobody saw it until it was kind of too late, and it was like the best take of all of them.
Come on, man, Fincher, dude. There's no way that happened on a Fincher.
Huh? You're still rolling with film though at this time. So
you're right.
You still have to get that developed at this point, and
you are right.
That's a little tougher.
Excellent point.
Yeah. But I think that I was a little uncomfortable when Ed Norton was motorboating Meatloaf. Because I know what gynecomastia looks like. There are people that have gynecomastia, some from steroid abuse like Meatloaf here, some from other reasons, but they went a little overboard. This was like Dolly Parton would be jealous of those things.
They went through so many costume like designs and like ones that they put together to go, how far is too far? And then they're like, let's go too far and then dial it back just the tiniest, but not much.
They did not dial it back, if you ask me. That's pure Power Girl right there. Liefeld drew
Power
those
Girl.
pussies.
That's a nice pull.
Meatloaf is Power Girl. It's too bad he's passed.
One of the things that I noticed this time around too, Fincher's insert shots are incredible. There's so many insert shots in Fight Club where it's just like, wow, that's the prettiest picture I've ever seen. Because usually when it comes to insert shots on a film of this size, they just have B team do all that stuff, and like the director will come by and go, yeah, that looks great, and walk away. There is no way in hell David Fincher was not on set for every second and moving the coffee mug very like they're just so pretty.
Now,
and even the stuff where he's looking like down the hallway, and it's like, you know, like the shot of like the peeling paint and stuff like that. It's all so perfect, man.
And for folks that aren't aware, could you tell us exactly what an insert shot is?
So, like, let's say they are at one of the self-help meetings, right? Yes. So, Edward Norton goes to get a styrofoam cup of coffee. When he pulls his hand away, you're looking at the like the little coffee area that they have at these meetings, and it's just a shot of what that looks like with him pulling his hand away. And those shots, specifically in Fight Club, are so well made that they look so beautiful that it's one of those things where it's like, oh, well, of course this movie was going to succeed, because he spent all like he like so much love and thought and effort went into this movie that you can see it from frame one. Well, frame one is them, like, it looks like the Raimi Spider-Man movie. Like, with the, like, that's ridiculous.
Of your mind.
Yeah, like, you know, that X-Men, the X-Men DNA strand, like, it's all the same. Like, they all have the same opening. But the after that, there's just so much love and thought that went into the movie that even if you don't like this movie, you have to respect it for just the level of effort that went into making it, you know?
I liked one of my favorite parts of it was Tyler's wardrobe, and it's like pretty cool. I mean, it's cool by intention, but it's also like only cool because Brad Pitt's wearing it. You know what I mean? Like, if I were wearing that, it would not look as cool. But I didn't know, like, you know, any of the backstory on how they went through the wardrobe or how they figured the wardrobe out for this?
Some of it was Brad's choice, like, especially like the kind of shirt at the end with all the porn and stuff on it. They were a little bit mad about that at the end of the day, where they were like, "Oh, this is very difficult to edit for television, sir. There's all these naked ladies all over your shirts. That's tough for us. Thanks." But yeah, I'm not exactly sure, you know, who all was, because it was definitely designed and stuff when you get down to like the glasses and the jacket and all that kind of good stuff. And speaking of which, like, sales of these Elvis style glasses just went bananas.
Dude, I owned a pair of them.
We all did, I think, because it would look fucking cool, you know. You're just like, oh, right, let's get these badass looking glasses and stuff. And I'm sure we all look like mega hell dorks, but you know,
the bathrobe did it for me. The bathrobe that he's always wearing around the house, that was one of my favorite pieces there. And, you know, projectionists in '99, did they still have this type of projectionist?
Oh yeah,
around?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You really don't start losing until around 2005-6 is when we really start getting into more. Almost everybody's about it with digital at that point.
I was just wondering if that's like a clue, because we don't really have those 70s style projectionists in the booth by '99. Like, and I don't know if I guess he really was cutting up prints from the studio and splicing stuff into it.
Now, supposedly, this movie is like the actual, like, the cigarette burn that you see in the movie and stuff, which is the thing that signals the changeover. I'm sure back in the film days, we all remember seeing that little boop and then something, and then it just changing again. This movie supposedly maybe came up with the term cigarette burn.
Really?
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I don't, like, for the records, doesn't seem like anybody really called it that before this movie.
Were you ever a projectionist, or are you too young for that?
No, I never. I'll put it to you this way: no theater would hire me during the 35 millimeter days. Let's put it to you that way, because I applied to all kinds of jobs and stuff that they were just like, no, and I'm like, this would be my dream job to work here. That's why we won't give it to you.
I was too busy as a pin monkey to get a job as a projectionist.
So one of the things, let's go backwards for a second, Brad Pitt's wardrobe. The thing that is interesting about it to me is that I have worked with people who I would describe as fabulists, who wear that kind of thing around.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
And the one thing that all of those people have in common is that they're all gay. they
Yep.
every single one of them is gay, and there's one person specifically. He used to wear what he would call his danger suit.
Oh
And it
no.
basically was like a jumpsuit that looked like something that Charlie's Angels would wear, like a one-piece jumpsuit, and it was form-fitting, and it fit him snugly everywhere. And after like comedy shows and stuff, he would wear that kind of thing when it was time to go out after the shows were over. And one time, a person who was a guy dressed as a woman. This is before pronouns and all that stuff. Like he just decided, hey, I'm going to dress like a lady tonight because that's what we're going to do. And came and saw our show. After the show was over, he came up to my friend who's wearing the danger suit, and he said, he turns to my friend and he goes, "Oh, are you trying to look better than me?" And my friend literally turns to him and he goes, "Baby, I ain't trying." it was the greatest, like bang bang, like this person took the balls to like dress like a woman in pretty bad drag, to be honest with you, but and sit during an hour and a half long show in drag, and then after the show was over, like wanted all the attention. And
I'm gonna need to go talk my shit now.
Yep.
yeah. And my friend literally in 10 seconds made their life awful. It was like, wow, I couldn't believe it.
My fabulous friend is Tugboat's nephew, so he's always fun to hang out with.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Tugboat nephew sounds like a Twain character. I love it.
So don't ask him about his friend Jim.
No, thank you. So I got a question, guys, about something that I just can't pick up the significance on. And you guys have had multiple viewings. I've only had one. What are they communicating to us when Tyler shaves his head?
Oh, it's like, I mean, it's the monkey symbol essentially. So like when they're going through, it's the unification of everyone. So the idea with Project Mayhem and everything, once you're in Project Mayhem, your head gets shaved, your individualism is taken away. So you're part of the collective once you're part of Project Mayhem and everything. So your hair goes away, and this is like him just. I think essentially it's meant to symbolize him just kind of getting away from everything and just. And it looks cooler. It's different.
Oh, sure, it looks great because it's Brad Pitt. I mean, what doesn't look great? But I'm just trying to think what change happened in the narrator that caused him to have his idealized version of a man shave his head like that. I feel like that also starts to coincide with when there's friction between him and his imaginary friend, basically. But maybe I'm looking for more significance there than actually exists.
Well,
maybe watch this.
I think it's a plot device to signify to you that we're not like all fun and games anymore. Now that there's a militaristic aspect to this.
Did Ed Norton shave his head?
No.
Yes.
Well,
yes, he does.
Okay,
By the
well,
end
I
of the
couldn't
movie, his
recall.
head is shaved. Yes.
I forgot where I was going. I had something.
You were gonna say something? Go ahead.
So I got a couple of notes here. One is that this is, again, like, not only is it rare that the movie is better than the book, but I would say to you that this is one of the rare instances where the middle part of the movie is the best part of the movie. This is where all of the capers happen and all the fun and games happen. Like, he's beating himself up. It kind of starts around the time where he's beating himself up in his boss's office.
Yeah.
And, Tyler pulls the gun on the convenience store worker and all the homework assignments around town. That's when all of that happens. That's in the second act of this movie. And I think that's the most fun part of this movie. That's the thing where no matter what you're doing at the time, if the movie's on, you're going to stop what you're doing because you're going to watch it, especially the convenience store worker scene. And the towards the end of the movie, is the first time I recognized this, because he pulls the convenience store worker's ID out and he says, "I'm going to keep this." Mm-hmm. When you shut the door to Tyler's office and there's all of those IDs, and it's just like, oh my God, he's done this hundreds of times.
It says human sacrifices at the top. Yeah, I caught that.
It's crazy, man.
what a great scene and everything too. The way that they kind of pitch it out. It's called human sacrifice, and the narrator's like, I don't know what the hell's, just meet me out back. And then this whole thing, and we think that he's going to kill him, and puts him on this kind of righteous mission to save his life and everything. But I thought, like, also the nice part is to show us that there's no bullets in this thing. So this was always kind of his plan, is just to scare this guy straight into making a better life for himself,
living his life, right?
But it was greatest parts, like, why, and because we all think of the same thing. And Edward Norton, so like, why the hell did you do that? And he's like, that man's going to have the best day ever. Like, he's going to wake up, his breakfast is going to taste better, and it's true. If you had that situation happen to you, your next day would be the best day that ever fucking happened to you. And if you knew there was a psychopath in 6 weeks was going to come back and check on your ass, you're going to start getting your stuff ready to go to vet school real fast.
Or else you have some pretty severe PTSD and you have to have lifelong treatment. I mean, it's not all as golden as they try to paint it in this movie.
Hey, listen, it's a movie. Shut up.
Yeah.
You're going to break a few eggs. Am I right, boys?
I think that's part of what they're saying here is they're idealizing bad ideas. I mean, isn't that this whole movie?
Right, exactly. Yes. It's like it's like, oh, this is a good, structure for something. It's like the idea and the end point of what you're trying to get to is noble and all that good stuff, but you need to get there in the proper fashion.
Another note that I have here is that I just noticed this time around, again, one of those, which is that he goes to all those self-help meetings, right? Mm-hmm. But what he never goes to the big ones. He never goes to Alcoholics Anonymous. He never goes to Narcotics Anonymous. He never goes to the Gambling Anonymous. Like, he doesn't go to like the really big ones. It's always things that sound real but probably aren't. Yeah. Is what's happening in the beginning, and I never noticed that until now. Which is another one of those moments that this time around tells me he probably went to a couple of them. He didn't go to all of the ones that you see him at.
Do you want my interpretation on that?
Yes, please.
He didn't go to any that he perceived as a problem that you gave yourself, like AA, NA gamblers. He went to things where you are a victim. That's
true. Something. Yeah, your
blood parasites, brain parasites
beyond your control. Mm-hmm.
And I love it that Helena Bonham Carter showed up in the testicular cancer meeting, and she looks like the femme fatale straight out of an old noir movie, with the big hat and the cigarette and mysterious and glamorous. And then she looks like very different for the rest of the movie. That's another part. Like, I wonder if she's real or not.
Oh,
yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I suppose you could look at any particular, and maybe I've never really even thought about it at this point, but you could look at just about anything here and just go, maybe it's all in his head.
Because Bob looks like, if you read about gynecomastia, but you'd never seen it, what you might think it looks like, but it's not what it really looks like. That's why I say that I don't think there was ever a Fight Club.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Or
cool.
There was, and Tyler Durden's real, and the twist is there's no twist, like Cassidy said. I don't know.
So another note that I got here is there is an actor in this movie who for 10 years I always had mistaken for Paul Rudd. I always thought that he and Paul Rudd were the same actor. And he's the guy, he's in Band of Brothers. And he's also in this. He's the guy who works with the narrator at the office. And he's like, but when he gets here, when he shows up for Fight Club, like, he can't remember what toner to put into the copier. But my God, he was a glorious God when he got into Fight Club. Like, that guy.
Yeah.
For 10 years, 15 years, I would always mistake him and Paul Rudd for the same person. And like in Band of Brothers, I did too. Now they've aged because this guy who looks like Paul Rudd looks the way he should at his age, whereas Paul Rudd still looks like Paul Rudd. But like at the time, I can remember thinking, like, is this the guy from Clueless or is this the guy from Band of Brothers? I never knew because they looked so close to me. He's the guy who's standing out front on the porch, Bruce. He's the first guy.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm following you on that. I didn't really think Paul Rudd, but I don't think a lot of stuff.
He's like, but I don't think very often, so you know how I do.
I did really enjoy when they're on the train and they're seeing those Gucci ads. And Brad Pitt saying,
right.
"Is that what a real man looks like to you?"
And that, to me, that's the angriest line in the entire movie. Like when he goes, "Is that what a man looks like?" Man, the level of anger in that line, in the line reading, like there's
I just want to go like, you look better than that dude. What are you talking about, homie?
It wouldn't surprise me if Fincher took photos of Brad Pitt to use as those models. I mean, that's how much they look alike. And it also is like this thing. We grew up in Gen X, Sean, and there was a time where basically any man more attractive than you thought he must be gay. You know, that just kind of happened.
Yes.
And what we see is Ed Norton thinking that's not what a man looks like, while also yearning to look like that by creator Tyler Durden.
Right.
So it shows that whole internal conflict.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it's what all these people are doing, lying to themselves. I mean, you know, everybody's lying to themselves to one degree or another through that entire thing. And it's, again, to just kind of, I guess, placate their own emotions and stuff like that.
It's the level of anger that Seinfeld has. Like when you watch Seinfeld in an interview and stuff, when he's not, you know, trying to be jovial and stuff, he is one of the angriest men on the planet. And that's what that feels like to me, is that moment.
It's the whole concept of it's easier to pull someone else down than to lift yourself up.
That's funner. Come on, let's call it what it really is. It's more fun to bring people down.
You're really honing in on his Tuesdays there, fella. Jeez.
You know, listen, yeah, exactly. I do 2 hours every week where I talk shit. What are you talking about? It's kind of what I do. You know.
But the last note I have here is that I didn't put it together until this viewing. This is the last time I'll say it. That the dude from Mindhunter is the dude that's in Fight Club. Yes. And I didn't put it together, and of course he is, because he's so good in Fight Club and he's such a presence in it that, of course, Fincher was like, well, we're going to put a check mark next to his name. We're going to put him in things later.
Yeah, he's been in, No.
Oh,
Holt McEnany. And that's the thing, is that he's like, again, become one of those kind of Fincher staples and stuff over the years, where it's just like, I need a guy who's reliable and everything. And he's good anytime that cat shows up. And I was so happy that he got Mindhunter there and everything, to really give him a giant role to kind of stretch and do stuff outside of just being a usually a very good supporting character, but to kind of give him that sort of co-lead there and everything, I thought was great. That show needs to come back. That show was awesome.
Man, it's the only thing left of like, hey, can we please bring this back that I have? Like, I don't want them to ever bring back Firefly now, because it's too late. Like everybody's old, and it would be weird, and like
they're redoing it from what I've heard. They're doing it.
But what you are seeing is, you're seeing the thing where the studio puts out the AI thing, and they go, let's see if we get any hits on this, and let's see what happens. Because there isn't anything really happening yet. It's kind of like let's see what the public says.
Are people spitting on us? No? Okay, maybe we might explore a little.
Right. So if Joss Whedon isn't at the helm, it's still okay. Okay.
So how did Helena Bonham Carter land with you in 99, Sean?
Say what?
How did Helena Bonham Carter's character land with you in 1999?
She, to me, was too much trouble. Like, if you're talking about me personally, she seemed like somebody who was too much trouble. That girl is nothing but headache, and like, she looks great and she's amazing in the movie. Like,
she's fine, but you know to stay away because there's problems brewing. That's
too much, man. It's like, if you see a girl with a tattoo that has like poison, like something says poison, like, just walk away.
She owns a reptile? Get out of there.
Yeah.
She's like the sharp-edged version of a manic pixie dream girl before that term existed.
True. Yes. And I mean, don't get me wrong, man. She is so good in this movie. The fact that she is standing next to two actors who are basically like trying to outdo each other for like performances, because they kind of really are. And then she comes in and she's like, no, boys. No. Let me show you how this is actually done. And I think that's amazing, because she has to be able to, you have to believe that Norton is in love with her, but also Tyler Durden wants to have sex with her. Like, you need to think both things, right? Like, she can keep up with Tyler Durden, and she's able to do both very, very easily.
He has to love her and be repulsed by her at the same time, and she gives you the delivery that makes that happen.
Yes,
it's great when you look back and you look at it from that different angle, and it's like, this poor woman, what she is going through is kind of nuts. This dude is as bipolar as you could think. He's this way 2 seconds ago, and now he hates your guts. It's like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
There's two moments I'm calling bullshit. Right. One is that she doesn't know. How does she not know that he has a split personality? Like, she's the person who's closest to both of these people. She would absolutely know that this is a split personality. Like, oh wow, you're like two different people. Even though she is like crazy, like she still would be able to figure out. Like, that doesn't make her dumb. She would be able to figure it out.
But to her, he is Tyler all of the time. He's never not Tyler to her.
The part that
his emotions go from Tyler's to the narrators back and forth, and that could be the thing. And at the same time, too, she's a manic, crazy person who's probably on some stuff.
The part that caught me was, how many weeks did she go without using his name?
Right.
Because I don't know what time period we're watching this unfold over, but it feels like a long time, and she never uses his name unless he's in Tyler form.
Can I be honest with you? I am horrible with people's names. I am not. I wish it's a skill I wish I was better at. I'm trying to get better at it, but it is a difficult one. Because I think it mostly stems because I have a difficult last name, and so I have had it butchered a gajillion times, and I don't want to, like, this is the excuse I give myself. It's probably bullshit, but like, I don't want to screw someone else's name up, so I don't say their name or something. It's fucking stupid, but there's something about it where it's something in my brain is just like, oh, good morning. I won't say good morning, Jason, or something like that, because it's just like, oh, well, it seems so weird to say someone's name like that. It's a weird deal. I know.
Good morning, big dog.
Yeah, there's a lot of, hey, what's up, champ? A lot of, like, I'm always coming up with different reactions that don't necessarily involve a name per se. It's a tough one.
Governor.
They make fun of me at work because I always call everybody fella. Hey,
what's up,
fella.
Dust Brothers Music, man, for $99, these were the guys that you got for your stuff. It is just like, it's
The Matrix, this movie,
and everything. Those guys were just kind of killing it. The Mission Impossible theme.
Oh, right.
Those guys, like, all, like, any brothers, any Dust Brothers, Chemical Brothers, the Daft Punk brothers, they're not really brothers. Smothers Brothers, all those motherfuckers made some great music. And again, what do you think about? Now, I'll ask you this, Bruce, because this is the first time you're seeing it. What did you think about the CGI? Because I just, we're looking at 27 years later here.
I don't have a great eye for CGI. It didn't bother me. I'll put it that way. The only part where I even felt it was kind of noticeable was the explosions at the end.
Okay. Because, yeah, I mean, I just like the cool, like the amazing shots where we're going from one thing that Fincher's kind of just become very known for, of like that kind of long tracking shot that goes through things, whether you're under the gas pilot in the apartment, or, going down the barrel of the gun and all that kind of crazy stuff like that. It looks pretty good, all things considered.
Oh, yeah.
Which, again, I think is fantastic. I think the only reason that it still looks as good as it does is because of that exactingness of Fincher going, like, if you don't do this right, I'm going to be fucking mad.
Yeah. Not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough.
It always goes back to us really like having to appreciate Alien 3 for being as bad of a film as it is. It put David Fincher on that course of like, I'm only going to do exactly what I want to do and put that on screen. So as bad as that movie is, it gave us the fantastic director that we have today,
and it is really bad. Alien 3 is a very, very bad movie. And I'm thankful for it, because we wouldn't get the what is it? 13 movies that he's made.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, say the 13 Alien movies that have come out since then.
and they wouldn't, I think that he would probably have been easier to work with if Alien 3, they hadn't tried to meddle with his movie.
Yeah.
It's what makes him. And I don't think Fight Club comes out as well as it does. I don't even think 7 comes out as good as it does if it's not for him.
No, not at all. I mean, like, yeah, you put these movies in someone else's hands, you're not going to get this back, or a very close equivalent to this back. You won't get that, because there's something that's going on here between how the story is told, going back and forth, the editing of everything, and just the way that the story is structured and told to you and everything. You got to have a deft hand to be able to, pull that off and do it really, really well. And it's few people doing it as well as Fincher these days, I'll say.
I think that the other part to this too, though, is that, now it's easy to look at Fincher and be like, oh, well, let him cook. Like that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But guy who was a video director and now he's in charge of your gigantic tentpole franchise movie, and he's taken forever. I can totally see where somebody at the big Foxco comes by and goes, sir, this is not the way to do this. And he's a kid, and he's like, well, kid, he wasn't a kid, but
he was like 26, so it's close enough.
But he's like, no, I have a certain way of doing this, and I could totally see the folks over at Fox being like, no, we don't know who you are. I mean, now it's a different story, but during that time, I can totally see where, the corporate overlords come down and are like, no, we're not doing this.
He was just a capable music video director and commercial director that they were like, oh, we'll get this guy. He'll do what we want. And the problem is that the movie was so doomed from the get-go that they changed plans 58 times on that movie. It's amazing that it got made, period, much less, trying to be a good movie or anything else like that. But thank God that thing came around and help give us the Fincher that we know today. Hold on.
Fortress Bucks.
MVD said, this was my first time seeing Fight Club, and I knew I would have figured it out when Tyler was prompting from the basement. You mean from the OG one, or do you mean not the OG basement where he's telling everybody that it's Fight Club, right?
No. I think he's talking about when he's saying, "Don't mention me to her." Like he's down in the basement.
That's
Tyler,
probably right.
Telling him what to say. Yeah, that's and also they did the clever thing that was done in Sixth Sense, where as soon as Helena Bonham Carter walks off camera, then Tyler walks in, then he walks off, and she walks in. Like they can't all three be in the room together, no matter what.
Again, it's another one of those things that that's Fincher's, smart enough to make sure that we don't have little tiny stupid problems and stuff like that. So very, very good. I just remember. I'll just say again. In 99, this movie just kind of blew me away. It was one of those great things that when you're 17 years old and you see this on the big screen, it was nuts. And the movie was it was loved by many and hated by so many as well. I didn't bring it out, but inside of the original Fight Club DVD, which by the way, giant shout out for David Fincher for being the guy when it comes to special edition DVDs and stuff. The Fight Club has, even since its original DVD, there's 5 commentaries on it. You can watch special features for literal days with Fight Club, Panic Room, all of these things. David Fincher puts out fucking amazing DVDs that if you are all interested in the craft of filmmaking and stuff, the man's given master classes in every one of his DVDs and stuff like that. So
it shows he clearly has a passion for his craft.
He really fucking cares. And when you see Panic Room, all the behind the scenes and stuff for that of how specific and exacting and everything that he wanted, it's just there's a reason this guy is as beloved as he is. That's for darn.
He's no Lloyd Kaufman.
No, he most assuredly is not. All right,
king of good enough.
That's fine. I will say this, Uncle Lloyd is at least a very entertaining character. I've seen him talk and stuff. He's a lovely guy. He may not be the best filmmaker in the world, but you do have to enjoy that can-do attitude that Bruce loves so much.
Yes, I love it.
Well, let's get down to it, fellas. Bruce, what is your rating and recommendation for Fight Club from 1999?
Man, I really understood why people like it. It looks beautiful. It really had me pulled into the story. After the reveal, I felt like it just went on a little too long past there, because after the reveal that I know that nothing I'm seeing is necessarily true. So I kind of am not as interested now. So, that's maybe just a me thing. I would have probably liked it better if they cut it off closer to the reveal, but I'm still going to I'll give it 4 out of 5.
You think of this kind of like I do The Sixth Sense, where like I always thought the time for them to end The Sixth Sense is when he's like shot in bed and realizes like the whole thing. We've seen the kind of reveal, and I was like, man, if you hit credits right there, talk about an audience walking out going, what the hell did we even see? But you lose the Haley Joel Osment, grandma scene at the end, which is fucking amazing, and I wouldn't give that up for the other ending, but
And a lesser movie, but Identity knew when to end.
Oh yeah, I love Identity. Identity's fun, dude. Sean?
I don't know how we got onto Identity. I stopped paying attention. I look, man, I love Fight Club. I still do, even though now that I'm older, I'm like, we're pretty mad at basically everything here. It's a little silly. But the performances are all amazing. I took Brad Pitt for granted in this movie. When you think of how over the top and ridiculous he is in something like 12 Monkeys, which he is.
Oh gosh,
he is putting way too much mustard on that ham sandwich in that movie. But he's not in this. Like, he's not putting so much mustard on it in this one. And I took that for granted. Like, a lesser actor would have completely fumbled the ball here, and he doesn't. He does a very good job. Also, something we didn't talk about for the entire review is that he is so good looking in this movie that when Edward Norton, who is completely jacked and has like 2% body fat, is standing next to him, he looks schlubby and normal standing next to Brad Pitt in this movie. It is insane.
What I had read, though, is Ed Norton, being the person he is, that he literally starved himself so that he would get worse as the movie went on, while Brad Pitt was well fed and working out every day. Like, he really wanted to show Tyler sucking his life force away.
Oh, that's good. Of course he did.
Listen, the man, the man should already have an Oscar in his pocket, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Like that Primal Fear, you're telling me that man didn't deserve an Oscar for that performance? Holy shit, so good.
This is a 5-star movie to me. I think that this is one of the best. You're not going to outdo Fight Club. Like there's not a movie that's going to come out that you're like, it's like Fight Club but better. So for that reason alone, it's 5 stars.
This is a 5-star for me. It has been since 1999. I've grown to like the movie more, and obviously see different aspects of it as time goes by and whatnot. But it's still fantastic. I love the filmmaking. It's a movie that's always kind of moving. It's always shaking. There's no downtime in the movie for the most part. You're not going to sit and contemplate, this, that, or the other. You're on to the next thing. We're chugging along here. And it's one of the reasons that I love Fincher so much. He does what he does, and there's nobody that does it quite like him, and continues to do it in this movie. It's fantastic. So I can't say anything lower than 5 stars. It's one of those where you know that you can't be, what's it called? Objectionable or objective. That's the word.
Yeah.
You can't be objective on this. It's one of those that's just kind of baked into the old DNA here, and so much so that I'm going to see it then on my birthday, and then when I buy it on 4K later on. So I clearly enjoy the movie. So another 5-star review over here as well. And it sounds like the MVD, this was the first time for him watching it. He said it was one of those ones, again, like Bruce was like, I can't believe I waited so long to kind of see this thing, but good stuff.
It's great. Well, because I get it. It's the workaholics of movies, right? Like the people who love workaholics, you don't want to hang out with. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the guys who are so totally into workaholics, you're like, oh my God, I can't stand these people. But the show Workaholics is great. It just turns out to be a really good show. It's just that the people who are totally into workaholics kind of sort of don't get what makes workaholics so great. And it's the same thing with this movie, where it's like the guys who are way too into Fight Club don't understand what Fight Club's about. It's the same thing.
I think the It's Always Sunny gang are really good people.
The most important part about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is how hot she is.
That is it, everybody. We have wrapped up our March of Dimes series. Next week, though, we are starting up April, and in April, what's the big event that's going down, Bruce?
WrestleMania.
Man, oh man, the wrestling is starting, and so we're going to devote an entire month to wrestling films. That's right, everybody. We got a whole bunch of wrestling films lined up here for you, and we're gonna start off normal, and then we're gonna go a little bit more bananas as things go on. I feel like that's probably the proper path to go with this one. So we're gonna start out with Foxcatcher. So a traditional wrestling film based upon real life events here and everything. I haven't seen it since the theater. I do remember quite enjoying it. So we got Steve Carell, Channing Tatum, and some other folks, if memory serves.
Yeah, you are correct.
So I got two of the members of the cast. So I got that one. So we'll be checking out Foxcatcher to come next week, and a whole bunch of other wrestling films. Stand by for all of that good stuff. In the meantime, Bruce, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
Go check out my YouTube. Just look for Bruce Leslie or at Anime Dad, and got a nice. Well, I won't say it's nice. I got a review of Hell Comes to Frogtown that I put up today.
Links are in the show notes for all of these things as well. Sean, have you been exploring the spaceship?
I have a YouTube channel called Sean Likes Spaceships, where all things sci-fi movie and but they got a spaceship in it is what we talk about there. Except this week's episode is we answer the question: doesn't Dermot Mulroney have enough? So show up for that, won't you?
I think I know where he's going with at least part of this, and
Of course.
because it's absurd. That's the craziest part.
It's insane. It's insane.
That is. Again, we'll save it for his thing, but that's one of the knowledge things you pull out at parties to kind of just go like, hey, you want some bullshit facts? Here you go. Here's one that you're not going to believe, and then you just drop some Mulroney history on them.
And the big celebrity makes a guest appearance on that show.
Oh,
yeah, like actual honest to God celebrity. Yeah,
nice.
Tune in.
I thought Milton Berle was dead, but here we go.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Man, Sergeant Slaughter is still kicking, and
he lives the next town over. I thought about getting him for a cameo in some project I did.
Hey, listen, man. For as long as you put down the bread, they'll pick up the phone. That's
you have
for sure.
the money. Ric Flair shows up. I promise you that.
Hey, listen. When I worked with him, he was a delight.
He's a delightful man, but
piece of garbage.
You pay him his rate. You got to pay him his rate.
Oh yeah. Much taller than I expected to. That was the weird one. Why don't you check out TikTok Trash Tuesday? That's where every Tuesday I go to movie TikTok and pull out what I hope are interesting TikToks, and I yap about them on the internet for far too long and hopefully try to make content out of that later. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You never quite know. But that's half the fun of that. Check out TikTok Trash Tuesday. And, of course, all the other fun videos that we have over on HMP's page. Why don't you click all the links? They are in the show notes. That is it, everybody. Join us next week when we're talking Foxcatcher. For Sweet Sean's and Kovacs from the internet, Bruce Leslie, I'm Adam Portress reminding you to get out there and watch some movies, you dirty babies.